Rahim, dear brothers and sisters, Salamun Alaikum. I hope you are doing well during this time of the COVID. I know you are sitting among your families and working from home. A lot of people have seen or lost a lot of their family members, and they're thinking about their family members, and this situation is something that no one thought about. But one thing that we are all together in is that the protection of our families and defending our families is something that we are doing our best to secure and have that stable family, and having everyone around us is very important for us. Today or tonight, I would like to talk about the one community, one ethnicity that is unfortunately getting forgotten among ourselves as a Shia Muslims and in the international community. The Hazara people who are living in Hazarajat in Afghanistan, some of them living in Pakistan, some of them living in Iran, have always been the third party or the third generation or third people who no one else talked about. A lot of violence that is happening toward the Hazara communities in Afghanistan is not highlighted anywhere in the world. The last three incidents that happened that took a life of a lot of Shia Muslims, the attack on the maternity hospital, the attack on the educational system, the attack of the recent attack of the Sayyid al-Shuhada school have left a lot of death and a lot of took the life of a lot of young generation that they were the future of our society and as a Shia Muslims and the future of our country. Hazara people always have lived with the fear, and a lot of countries, those three countries, the first and the second is the international community, have always looked at them as someone that don't belong to that country, don't belong to that society. There are many of them in past centuries were enslaved, tortured, and killed. Right now, the trend of the violence against them have changed. You don't see that much of the Hazara to become a slave, obviously, but you see a lot of attack that is happening toward the Hazara community, and a lot of people don't know about it. The cases that is happening around the world, every one of us is highlighting it, talking about it. If something happens, some small thing happened that is coming as a message toward our WhatsApp or in our social media, is getting that highlight. We talk about it, we look at it, and we know that this case either is a funny or is a sad story. We have to somehow share it. If it's a funny story, we share it, we let our friends and the family know that this happened. If it's a sad incident, we share it to our friends and our families to let them know. But when it comes to the attack of the Hazara people, a lot of communities, a lot of generations, a lot of people don't take that moment to think why the Hazara community are getting this much violence in Afghanistan. Why our next generation of the Shia Hazara are getting killed without any thought or without any fear. People are attacking them and no one defending them. As a Shia Muslims, we are getting the violence. We see the violence. We have a lot of attacks happening to the Shia Muslims and to the other people as well. But when it comes to the Hazara community, not only us ignoring them, but the international community is ignoring the violence against them. We have seen many cases. In the past 6 years, approximately around 2,500 Shia Hazara were killed. Around 2,700 were wounded in different attacks. The recent one was the Sayyid al-Shuhada's school, that the brutal and the extremists attacked the innocent girls in the school. It's not only about these people getting killed. It's about destroying our next generation, destroying the people who could change our society, destroying the people who could change a lot of things in our society. We are not, the terrorists not only attacked those girls and took their lives, took the life of the families, destroyed the fathers and mothers, destroyed the brothers and sisters, destroyed the next generation that was coming. This killing of the Hazara girls in Afghanistan, unfortunately, did not get the news and did not get the attention that needed from our people first and the international community. We believe that we are taking the path of Ahlul Bayt. We believe that we are Shia Muslims. We hear the stories of Ahlul Bayt. We hear the story of Karbala and Imam Hussein. But we forget why Imam Hussein was martyred. Why? It wasn't about the position of the government. It wasn't about saving the Islam at the general. It was about humanity. We forget that. We forget that right now, as a Shia Muslims, we have a duty. We have a duty to protect our people, to protect other people as well. The Hazara community stories are not highlighted. If you are a Hazara and you have a story to share, it's very, very, very important for you to share that story, because no one else feel and believe and understand your situation. If you are a Hazara living in Afghanistan, living in Pakistan, living in Iran, or living in the other countries, Western countries, and have a family member or have brothers and sisters who lost their lives, no one knows about your story. Why? Because you did not share it. I don't know about the case that is happening. My brothers and sisters, they don't know. How the international community can know about it? No one else can tell your story. You can come to the Shia Rights Watch and talk about your story and send us the messages. We have a lot of different ways to get, you can communicate with us. Or there is a lot of Hazara organizations who are working to defend your rights. You have to tell your story. You have to let the people know what is going on with you, how you feel, what is the effect of these attacks toward you and your family, toward your society. And as a Shia Muslims, if you are watching this program, remember, the Hazara, it doesn't matter what is the ethnicity, where they come from. These people who are getting killed are they from Middle Eastern countries? Are they from Western countries? As long as they are a human being, it is our duty to protect them. As a Shia Muslims, it's very important for us to defend our identity. Our identity and our culture need to protection. Every one of us can do the same job. We can protect our brothers and sisters, but we have to take the tools that is available right now in our society and take those steps toward protecting ourselves. If you are educated, there's cases that you can work on. If you are a doctor, a lot of people need your attention. If you are a wealthy person that can spend your money to protect the people, there is a lot of ways to do that. There are a handful of organizations who are working in regard of defending and protecting the Shia Muslims. If you don't pay attention to them, if you don't pay attention to the society, if you don't pay attention to what is exactly happening, the next generation and the next generation and the next generation, we don't see any of those people. The Hazara community were a large number of people in Afghanistan. Majority of them are in Afghanistan. But unfortunately, this systematic attack that is happening toward the Hazara community is taking life of a lot of people, is taking the life of people who could change the society. I have lived among the Hazara community. I have a lot of Hazara friends. I know how wonderful they are. I know how much story they have to tell. But somehow we got that feeling that we get used to it. We get used to that violence. We get used to that killing. We get used to sitting and watching and not saying anything. This has to change. I know and I understand that the United Nations and the international community have different understanding of the genocide that is happening. Sometimes when you talk about to the United Nations, when you talk to the international community about the genocide that is happening against the Hazara community, they say this is not the genocide. Me and you understand and know this is the 100% genocide. We know that the mass killing of the Hazara community is affecting our societies, affecting our families, is affecting our next generation, is affecting a lot of things around us that we don't understand right now. We don't believe on it right now. We don't think that this is something that maybe is important. But when it comes to the next generation and teaching the next generation of who were the Hazara and who are the Hazara, we need to educate ourselves. We need to take that weapon of education and use it toward protecting the Hazara community. Why right now I'm talking about the Hazara community a lot? Because I see and I feel their pain. You should too as well. This wonderful community, this wonderful ethnic groups is getting hate and getting violence in their lives. They see that pain. They feel that pain. I don't know if you saw the recent attack videos and the pictures of the mother sitting and crying next to the body of her daughter. And there was a lot of news that the mother passed away 2 days after seeing her daughter and seeing that her daughter in that situation. I don't want to create that graphic picture in your mind, but I want to remind you that there are people in pain. There are people that need our attention, need our understanding. We have a lot of lack of education. We have to be straightforward with ourselves. If you talk to the Shia community specifically and ask them who are the Hazara, they don't have no clue. This is unfortunate. But this is happening because me and you are not working. Me and you are not educating ourselves and our next generation and our childs how to understand other people, how to work and defend other people. Defending doesn't mean taking the weapon and fighting. No. Defending means to educate ourselves and use the tools, the peaceful tools that is among us as a society, and use those to highlight the issues that is happening, highlight the things that need to be highlighted, stories that need to be told. If me and you don't work on that regards, no one else would talk about it. Me and you are the only one who can tell our stories. Me and you are the only one who can defend the rights of the other people. To my brothers and sisters in Hazara community, I want to understand your pain. I want to understand how I can defend you. If you can talk to us through the Shia Rights Watch, or you can send us a message in different social media that we have, or send a message and communicate with Imam Hussein TV channel as well. Imam Hussein TV channel took that step to highlight those issues and talk about the pain of the people, because we need to talk about it. We need to understand it. So brothers and sisters, take that moment. Go on Google the same way that if you want to cook, you go on Google or any search engine and search something. Or if you go on the social media and search on something, go and search about the Hazara community and educate yourself and communicate with us and tell your story to us.